Rescuers in the northern Philippines used boats to pick up residents stranded by flooding Friday as Typhoon Co-May was downgraded to a tropical storm and the death toll from a week of monsoon rains edged higher. Schools remained closed and electricity was down in swathes of the archipelago nation's largest island as the National Disaster Agency reported 25 dead and 8 missing since last Friday. But those numbers did not account for 3 construction workers buried in a landslide as they rested Thursday in Cavite province, according to rescuers. A wall above their construction site collapsed onto the men below after days of rain softened the soil under it, said rescue team member Rosario Jose. All the bodies were found in the mud, she said. A lone survivor was pulled from the rubble. In the west coast province of La Union, where Typhoon Co-May arrived in the early hours, a family of 4 was rescued Friday morning after being trapped on the second floor of their wooden home. They couldn't leave their house because the flood was waist deep and they have children, said a rescue official who asked not to be named as they were not authorized to speak to media. Many had been calling us since early morning, but we were having challenges in responding because the rain and winds were so strong, they said, adding that a break in the downpour meant rescue operations were now in full stride. In Bulacan province, just north of Manila, local media saw entire villages half submerged in floodwaters. Loro Sabino, 54, said he and his wife had evacuated their home in the morning after a frightening night of hard winds. It was as if my roof was being blown off. It was creaking. The rain poured the entire night, he said, adding they would sleep at a local market until flooding subsided. The same thing happens every time. There's no solution, agreed Mary Rose Navia, 25, a housewife whose husband was unable to go to work on Friday. The floodwaters are just getting deeper. President Ferdinand Marcos on Thursday explicitly tied the recent flooding to climate change, saying his country had to accept this was the new normal. Meanwhile, the storm first made landfall in Agno, Pangasinan, at 10:40 p.m., before making landfall in Candon, Ilocos Sur, at 5:10 a.m. on Friday. The storm weakened as it crossed the Cordillera Mountains. In another incident, a taxi was trapped by a landslide along Kenan Road in Camp 7. The road remained impassable as of Friday morning, with clearing operations pending the arrival of heavy equipment from the Department of Public Works and Highways. Meanwhile, United States has deployed one of its KC-135 Stratotanker to the Philippines as multiple cyclones have hit the country, resulting in major flooding to the Luzon area. The Boeing refueling tanker aircraft, carrying humanitarian assistance and disaster response equipment, is expected to arrive at Clark Air Base in Pampanga, the Philippine Air Force said. We have information that a KC-135 aircraft from the U.S. is bound for Clark Air Base, bringing in HADR equipment, PAF Public Affairs Office Assistant Chief Major Richard Calma told local news. Calma added that, while the PAF does not have the exact date or time of the KC-135's arrival, the aircraft is currently in Japan awaiting departure for the Philippines. What's important is that support from the U.S. is coming in, Calma said. Meanwhile, the PAF said that it also has 40 air assets on standby, including C-130 and C-295 medium transports and S-70I Black Hawks at Basa Air Base in Florida Blanca, Pampanga. The KC-135 Stratotanker is a U.S. military aerial refueling and strategic airlift aircraft. It has been in service with the U.S. Air Force since 1957 and its ability to refuel midair has played a vital role in extending the range and endurance of other military aircraft. The KC-135 is also capable of transporting patients during aeromedical evacuations. Almost 280,000 people were forced to evacuate across the northern Philippines when 2 tropical cyclones entered its area of responsibility. Thousands remain displaced as floodwaters continue to submerge several neighborhoods. With its location on the typhoon belt, as well as the Pacific Ring of Fire making it vulnerable to volcanic eruptions and earthquakes, the Philippines remains one of the world's disaster-prone countries, experiencing an annual average of over 20 typhoons. Meanwhile, as heavy rains from the southwest monsoon and back-to-back typhoons continue to soak Luzon, up its relief and cleanup efforts to support thousands of families still reeling from the storm's impact. Through its Manila Water Foundation and East Zone teams, the company led by ultra-billionario Enrique K. Rizon Jr. is assisting 173 verified evacuation centers across Metro Manila and Rizal. These centers are sheltering more than 10,000 families, or over 39,000 individuals. While numbers have begun to decline as families return home, the need for clean water and sanitation remains critical. In Quezon City alone, Manila Water recently delivered 320 units of 5-gallon bottled water to several barangays, including Culiat, Quirino 2A, Vasra, East Camias, and Paong Tamo. More deliveries are underway for communities such as Damayan Lagi, Roxas, and Sayo. Additionally, 300 water units are being sent for distribution. The company said it also distributed 275 water containers to evacuation centers in Rodriguez, Rizal, and extended aid to areas including Pasig, Cainta, Taytay, Binangonan, Morong, and Baras. Meanwhile, in Baras, Manila Water provided 200 vials of probiotics to address potential health concerns. Relief operations were conducted in coordination with local governments, including the delivery of 400 bottled water units to health offices in Taguig City. The company has also begun using treated wastewater classified as Class C water for road clearing and flushing operations in schools and covered courts in Rodriguez, San Mateo, and Marikina. Relief and sanitation operations are expected to continue in the coming days, with teams on standby for further deployment.